Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. We should have a good one on tap here today. It's the Vikings coming in at 4-2, going up against the Packers, who come in at 3-2. So with kickoff straight ahead, we'll check in with our broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are on the eastern side of downtown Minneapolis at the gorgeous new U.S. Bank Stadium. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games. Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, they come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. And on 2nd and 10 now. They'll run it now out of the gun. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolding.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, you got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
So what will they do? On the ground, through the air, let's see. 2nd and 9.
All right, here we go. Detroit!
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
He'll drop to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
On play action, they'll throw. And he comes back with one complete. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. 319. 319. Here we go. Green, Sergeant, now, Barney.
On third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get yards on that one. And they're able to convert here on 4th and inches.
Well, the hallmarks of their success this year, they've been fearless on 4th down. And they convert another one right here to move the chains.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down.
Here we go now. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
Now this time he'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw on that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
One of the toughest things for an offensive lineman to learn is the ability to get in space and hit people who are moving targets. And linebackers are not easy ones to hit because they know how to move, juke, and make you miss. And that's exactly what he did on that play. A nice play for the defense.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And with the new rule, that decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he only gets to the 20. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive a little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Second down following the run. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
They'll look to throw here. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now 4th down. On now is the Packers punter, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. This is taken at the 23. A great return there of 22 yards. And it'll be Viking football here as they take possession. All right, this is a guy that needs no introduction to the league. He has been around quite a while.
And it's good that they have him, because when he looks around his huddle, he may not have guys with the same experience he has, maybe some of the youngsters, and his veteran leadership should help them along the way.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested, and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Looking deep downfield. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right. Man, it wasn't that long ago that the guy playing that spot was an outside linebacker type of a guy. Now, as a defensive end, how about the speed that he used to get into the backfield and make the play?
Now whistles here, flag down. I think one of the Packer linemen was moving.
False start, offense. Still 2nd down.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
Defense maybe trying to guess the snap count there, and it costs them 5 yards. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Cardinal, we're into the 2nd quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you've got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. On now is the Packers punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And it's fielded at the 34. Oh, shifty. Whoa. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throwing left side, it's complete. Touchdown, Vikings! Their dangerous wide receiver. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings move it away. Fielded about a yard deep. Oh, the hurdle. Oh. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They have a Hall of Famer at one corner and a defensive player of the year at the other, and they just lock people down.
He's got his man on the crossing route. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. 31 yards on the punt there. And out will come the offense as they take over. And back out onto the field comes the Packers defense. See if they can regroup a little bit. They gave up the touchdown last drive.
And you know from our meetings with coaches all across the league, one of their pet peeves, when teams get down, a lot of these guys now, they want to treat it like it's a video game or something. Hit reset. Let's start over, coach. Out of the first 2 series, they don't even matter now. Let's play again. That's not how it works. You're down. You gave up a touchdown. You can't do it again. You have to dig in, grit it out, and fight it out. Reset buttons. It's driving everybody crazy. There are no reset buttons when you're playing in this game.
Preach, Chucky, preach. Now they'll run it on the toss. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
They come up in an offset eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And still scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. Here we go with 2nd and 7. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Larry Ridley will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. They're going to look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. A big play there on the catch and run. 38 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
23 yards on the play. So they're operating in the red zone.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Slants are so tough to cover because everything happens so fast. But sometimes it happens too fast for the guy catching the ball because all of his movements have to be quick off the line of scrimmage, and then all of a sudden the ball's right on top of you. And maybe he got a little bit ahead of himself there.
Yeah, a lot of times coming in with good pace, and he dropped it. Now back to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Back to throw here. He's got time. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. And his kick is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. Well, at least they won't take a goose egg into intermission as they do carve out 3 points here in the waning moments of quarter number 2.
Yeah, it hasn't really been the greatest of first halves. They've looked out of sync, especially on the offensive side of the ball. But a field goal here at least gives them some momentum as we tick down toward halftime.
And now out comes Minnesota. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And now they're in the hurry up.
Here we go. Good green. 39. Green. All right, now look at 56. Look at 56. No. Check. Patriot.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. A good pickup there.
Me all the time. I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And that is incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll get down to about the 26-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. And they're going to speed things up here.
All right, here we go. Watch it now, Barney.
They'll send a receiver in motion left. They'll look to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And that extra yardage makes this upcoming field goal attempt much more manageable.
Agreed, because when you talk to defensive coordinators, they always tell us the 35-yard line on our side of the field, that's the line we guard the most aggressively, because once they get there, they believe they're in field goal range.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. It's up and good, and that makes it 17-3.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. And never mind, Larry. These two teams apparently anxious to get back at it. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. The Packers defense here, they're heading back out onto the field. They are down on the scoreboard as we begin the second half and looking to avoid a bigger deficit.
Here we go now.
And I can just hear the coaches now. I can hear the head coach. Guys, first 5 minutes. First series of the second half. Offense or defense, you got to set the tone.
They'll try to set that tone here.
Holding offense.
So a little grabbing there, but this time it goes against the offense for holding. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL, and a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
And let's see, the Packers defensively 6 DBs, so a dime look on third.
Could play coverage or bring pressure.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Not an ideal spot to be on 1st down, but I love that the play caller did not immediately abandon the running game and say, okay, we've got to throw it in order to pick it up. Stayed with the run, was rewarded with a big-time pickup. Now they're in 2nd and manageable.
Looking to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
And he's got his man on the out route. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Can't find anyone open. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. A gain of 4 on the play, and it's a 2nd down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Here we go. Green.
He'll drop to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal. Here comes the D swarming to the line. The offense operating inside the 10 at the 8 here. It's 1st and goal. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
Back to throw. Touchdown, Packers. Their dangerous wide receiver, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Packers have cut it back within a score. And Charles, the defender, was there. He just didn't get it.
Sometimes these plays turn into basketball in a sense, with 2 guys going.
I know you hear it a lot, but it's just the will to get it, right?
Oh, without a doubt. The will, as well as some really nice touch on the ball that was thrown.
And some talent, too. Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And out now come the Vikings. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and give these guys. Low man wins. wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. And now here's a carry heading left. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Call it an 8-yard gain, much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the first down.
Back to throw now on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And into the end zone, it's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. After the pick 6, they go right back to the air. And he finds a man on a crossing route. 15 yards through the air and a first down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo.
Here we go. All right, now, look at 56.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And he goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4. Back now at beautiful new U.S. Bank Stadium. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. To throw here. Gonna throw right side here, complete. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry up.
Here we go.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Now a handoff here to his running back. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Now that was a good job by the defense swarming to the football. And you know it's no cinch that you're going to be able to get the ball into the end zone against them. They're number 2 against the run. So what's an offensive coordinator to do? Check your playlist.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
Expecting pass. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. And quickly, they get to the line. And the offense inside the 5 here at the 4. It's 1st and goal. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. 2nd and goal is the off. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings have taken the lead. And nothing special there. They showed they were going to run the football. They ran it. They got it in.
Like old-time football, right? Hey, this is exactly what we're going to do. Straight ahead power, and they got it done.
And they will take a 7-point lead now. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings move it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And in the early going, the running game, as we see the numbers, it just wasn't on point. Well, now it's gotten more true to form.
And sometimes it takes a little while for an offensive line to get in sync, because early in the game, defenses throw different patterns at you, different formations, different sets, and you might not block them quite the way you want to. But as you start to get into a groove and you figure out what they're doing, now it all comes together, and that's what we're seeing right now.
Throwing right, and that's complete. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, did a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll be out of bounds, able to take it down to the 40. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
1 receiver left, 3 to the right. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. So incomplete on 1st. Let's see what 2nd down has in store. Again, he'll drop to throw. He's got time in the pocket. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, any caused incompletion is good for a defense. But when you add to it, you get a little hit on the quarterback, knock him to the ground, make him think a little bit, hopefully knock him off his game, especially in a game of this magnitude, this tight in the 4th quarter. Got to feel pretty good as a defense.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Receivers love having the reputation of being go-to guys on 3rd down, and he was fighting like he really wanted to have that reputation, didn't he? I mean, he came very close to making that a 1st down.
Broke the 1 tackle, but couldn't spring himself free. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Got a to try it here. He's back to throw. This will be caught inside the 10. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line.
And they pick up the first down on a 4th down play. I don't know if the defense relaxed because they thought maybe they'd stopped him on 3rd down, or if they just didn't protect the sticks very well. But, boy, that's a big-time pickup right there.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Back to throw again. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete.
Here we go. Blue 90.
They'll look to throw again. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. And leading here late, so a chance for the defense to really close out this game if they can halt the offense. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And, a crush and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
And now out comes Minnesota. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
Looking to throw. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Take it in at the 22. Oh, little 360. A good return there, 17 yards. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. He'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. They'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. Back to throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Looking for someone to throw to. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Again, he'll drop to throw. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
It appears that the pressure is affecting him today. Normally, he knows exactly when to get rid of the football, but today, because he's been hit a few times, he's getting rid of it a little bit too quickly.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They'll set up to throw. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete.
That was a difficult catch, and I admire the fact that he actually caught the football. Worked so hard to get his feet down in bounds, tried to do the toe tap. My dad's an accomplished tap dancer. I'm not sure he would have gotten his feet in on that one.
Is he really?
Yeah, that he is.
How about that? What about young Davis?
No, it did not. It did not cross.
It didn't carry over.
No, it stopped right there.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Well, Charles, exciting to the very end. That's what we just saw in this game. Final play there, had it in the red zone, but anytime you're outside of the 10, that's tough trying to draw up a final play to get in, and they couldn't do it.
It certainly is. So what they were looking for was, extra time. Too bad it's not FIFA soccer, right, where you get a little bit of extra and you get a chance to run a couple more plays and maybe get closer and take that last shot into the end zone.
So for the Vikings, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for the Packers, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to KC to take on the Chiefs.